Welcome, sound lovers, enthusiasts. You are here because you use Ableton. There are a few curveballs that it throws at you, and this is going to be super basic, just really to get you started. This video is about getting you started with Ableton Live. Now, I'm personally using Ableton Live 11 Suite. However, what I'm going over isn't really going to be so advanced that anything that could change is really going to be different when you dive into whatever version you're using. Let's dive in. Ableton Live is something called a DAW, a digital audio workstation. It's basically a matrix where you can go lay down a track and you can layer tracks. You have the option of either doing MIDI or doing audio. Okay, so here we are. I just opened Ableton Live. This is the live matrix where you can drop your loops, drop your samples. We are not gonna actually go in that direction today. So here's a quick little shortcut to get through that. You can hit Tab and it'll take you to this view. Another way that you can get there is up at the top right. You have these vertical lines and these horizontal lines. Horizontal means that you are looking at your sample and you're recording horizontally in this view, or these vertical lines take you back to this view. This view has a few different extra features that we're not going to go into. If you are really new to DAWs, this might look very strange to you. So let me just explain some of the basic functions here. I have 4 tracks, and each track I can assign a different sound and a different part of whatever overall musical piece that I'm working on. They are labeled right off the bat: MIDI, MIDI, audio, audio. Okay. So you have to think, are you playing with a MIDI device or are you using your microphone to record audio? Basically, those are the basic ones, but something like plugging in your guitar, that would also be audio. Tip number 2, choose whether you want MIDI or audio. For the purpose of this, I am going to delete everything but one MIDI track because, well, for one, down at the bottom, it says this audio engine is off. Please click here to choose an audio device from Live's audio preferences. Turn your MIDI device on. What you want to do is you want to go up to the top of the screen where it says Live at the top. And I'm on a Mac, by the way. I believe that does make a difference. I'm clicking Live. I'm going down to Preferences. So I have something called an audio interface. It's called my Motu M2. However, my Arturia Keylab 88 is plugged directly into my computer, but the audio output is going to go out through my M2 because I'm going to put my headphones on that's plugged into it so I can hear it. So it doesn't interfere with my microphone and what I'm recording. If you don't have an audio interface, then you're just going to be coming out through the speakers of your computer, or you might be going straight out through the speakers of your computer. There's so many different ways that you could have it set up. Tip number 3, choose your MIDI device. Now I have for control surfaces, I have selected Keylab 88. You can do this drop down and choose something else based on what your hardware you got going on is. And then I have the output again to confirm that the audio is coming out of my Motu M2. You can also see all my other devices that Arturia has memorized here. So you have those set. Make sure that you have your control surface selected. Tip number 4, you have to arm the track. So what do I mean by arm? You have to click this little button right here. It looks kind of like a little clock. I actually don't know what Arturia meant this to be, but you have to click that. And now we're getting signal. However, I still don't even need my headphones to know that there is no sound coming out of this, because as of right now, keep in mind this is MIDI. So because this is MIDI, it's just computer data that I'm sending in. So if I play a C chord, the computer knows I'm playing a C chord. It's reading the data for a C, a E, and a G all together at the same time. It's reading all of that data, but it's not converting it into any sound that is valuable to human ears because I have to choose an instrument to pair it with. So for that, I am going to need my headphones. All right, so first of all, click your MIDI track just to make sure. It's the only one I have, but just trust me. You want to click this matrix, this area, because if you don't and you have other tracks, it might assign an instrument to a different track without you realizing. And then you got confusion and you don't want that. All right, so I'm going over here to instruments. If you watch my channel, you probably see me use plugins a lot, but for the purpose of just plugging in and playing, you might not have plugins. So I'm going to actually find something that comes with Ableton. Oh, that's cool. I do like that. All right, so now I have an instrument. It's really quiet though, so I'm gonna turn it up. There are so many ways you can turn it up, but I'm gonna show you. So this blue box right here, click it and pull up. All right, that's still pretty low, but that's not normally where you want to turn it up because it's probably in the gain and so on. So let's see, what do we have here? What is this instrument? I like it. All right, I'm going to turn the volume up here. Ooh. All right, I'm going to spare you all the amount of time that I would take to really like fine tune this. I think it's fun. I don't know. All right, there we go. That's fun. I like it. All right, now this is your playhead right here. I don't know if you can see this. See this tiny little blue arrow? This basically tells you where the track is going to start recording. Now, I don't want to start on measure 32. It's about 32. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, oh, here's another tip. You can zoom in or zoom out so that you can really see an overview of everything. Or you can zoom in, you can see them by phrases. Let's see this darker part versus this lighter part. Those are phrases. You can zoom in a little bit more to see smaller chunks of phrases. Or you can zoom in to see fractal measures. I only ever do that if I'm doing like really in-depth editing. We'll keep it like that so you can see, yeah, those are 4 measure phrases. I like that. I like 4 measure phrases. But I want to start at measure 1 over here. So I am going to hit this little arrow and see I just kicked the playback all the way to the beginning. Now, in order to record, this is like tip 4.5, maybe, I don't know, I'm not keeping track. If you want to count in, you can click this tiny arrow here. You can do either none. I have it set to 2 bars, which in over here, see it's 4 time. It's going to count to 4 twice for me. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I know I can go and record. So I'm going to just keep it at that. I have the tempo set to 120. That's the speed. You can think of that as like the speed limit, but if you want to slow it down, which I actually might do, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to click it and drag it down. There are other ways you can do it. You can double click and type it in, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to click and drag and go 94. That's my speed limit. All right. And it's going to click according to that tempo. You can also make sure that the metronome stays on. So you can highlight that. That means that it's going to click the metronome throughout if you really want a tight recording. Tip number 5, you hit the record button. All right, so the record button is this circle. It's going to give you, I'll count us in. 2, 2, 3, 4. All right, so you can hit this little arrow, go back to the beginning, and here's a shortcut. You can just hit the space bar to play. No hands. All right, cool? Yeah, it's cool. Now, if you want to add tracks, this is one bonus one. I'll just give it to you. Go back up to the top where it says create. I again don't think that you can see up here, but you'll see the drop down in my screen recording. And you want to insert, you can insert either an audio track or a MIDI track. If you insert a MIDI track, just keep in mind that you have to now click on that MIDI track. Disarm this one, arm this one, and you start the whole process again. But now you can layer sounds, and now you can create to your heart's content. If this is your thing and you want this to be your thing, but maybe you feel a little bit lost, a little unsure of what it is exactly that you're doing, that's totally cool. I get that. I'm taking my headphones off so I can talk to you. Like, I totally get that. No shame there. You know, everybody has to start someplace. And you know what? I have a secret. Most musicians, because as a teacher of over 15 years, I can tell you this with confidence. Even good musicians have holes in their understanding of what they're doing. So I just want to encourage you that wherever you are is valid. And you're going to have fun if you allow yourself to have fun. Just don't be hurtful to yourself. That's all. Really keep it all in perspective. Keep going. And if you want a little bit of extra help, I wrote this book for you. You can find the link to buy either the ebook or the physical copy on Amazon. This is a culmination of all of the psychology I've found helps people advance. This is a culmination of all of the discovery and musicality that you have to develop in order to be a confident performer. Doesn't matter what genre. And music theory, because I'm a huge music theory nerd, but I think that music theory should be accessible to everybody to really give a healthy amount of understanding so that you feel empowered, right? So if you liked this video, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.